Hello, Halos Gaming here, bringing you an update on Burner Serpentis. Since the assault frigate changes, we now have a cheaper fit to do it, whereas we were running like a 400 million-ish Hawk to do this. It was ridiculous. So let's not go there. But since the changes to the assault frigates, we have a cap stable Harpy that does it very, very, very well. The Harpy's base stats, or it's not his base stats, but its bonuses. We get an optimal range and damage bonus for the assault frigate, and a second optimal range. So you get double optimal range with the Harpy because of the bonus. So you get a 50% bonus for the Caldari, and assuming you have assault frigate 5, you get another 50%. If you have it to 4, you get another 40%, which is still sufficient. And then it's got all shield resist bonus at 20% as well, which is also fantastic. Um, for skills, you're obviously going to need Caldari Frigate 5, which you should have if you're doing burners for the Garmer. And then you're going to need Assault Frigates to at least 4 to use any of the Assault Frigate builds that I have. In navigation, nothing here is really important for this build, but as always, I do recommend that you have Evasive Maneuvering 5, you have Navigation to 5, you have just general support for navigation up. In engineering, this is not a super tight fit, so you're only really going to need advanced weapons upgrades like 3 to make it fit, but you have advanced weapon upgrades to 5, you have all your engineering skills up, you have a couple options which I'll go over later. You do always want thermodynamics at least to 4, and all your fitting skills, so your CPU management, your capacitor management, your advanced weapon upgrades, your capacitor systems operations, your weapon upgrades, and your energy grid. No, that's not necessary for this one. Anyways, engineering support skills, super important. Yeah. And then in the armor skills, we're not an armor tank. We don't need any armor skills. We are going to want shield compensation up to, I believe, at least 4 to make this fit work. But 5 is highly recommended, especially if you don't have the engineering skills up. But shield compensation makes your shield boost use less capacitor. It's 2% less capacitor need for shield boost per level, which is extremely helpful. Nothing else is super important here. Shield operation gives you a little bit more buffer, but you really don't need it. It's a permatank. You're not too worried about it. Gunnery, this is important. You are going to need all of your support skills to 4 at least. If you have them all to 5, that helps, but 4 is the requirement. I do have a video on that. I will try. I'll link it in the description. A video on gunnery support skills. There are 6 of them, and they are all extremely important to train. If you're gonna fly any kind of combat in EVE Online, you want to train your gunnery and your missile support skills. But I digress. We're going to want small projectile or small hybrid turret specials, or small blaster spec at least to 3. I have most of these to 3. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in here. It's on the screen. You guys are going to point it out and make me look like an idiot. There it is. It's right there. And then we're not using missiles. Well, optionally, we can use a rocket launcher. So we don't really need those. In rigging, we are using some rigs that are important. You are going to want hybrid weapon rigging at least to 3 or 4. Actually, I'm not sure exactly what it does, but it makes the drawbacks better, so it makes fitting easier. If you have this to 4, you'll be able to fit tighter, which is awesome. So that's all with character skills. Again, the Serpentis agent, he likes to orbit around 11 kilometers and shoot railguns at you. It's a scram kite daredevil. So general things. For the fit today, we have small neutron blasters using null ammo. With all the bonuses and gear, I get 10 kilometer optimal range, which puts me just shy of blasting him right at optimal to get the most DPS out of the ship. So we're right there at optimal. We're applying a lot of DPS. We got 2 hybrid Locus coordinators to increase our range. We have a tracking enhancer, a regular magnetic field stabilizer, just the T2, and then a shiny magnetic field stabilizer. And then in the mids, we have a Pithum A-type connection deflection amplifier, We have a Republic Fleet small cap battery, a Federation Navy Stasis Webifier. This is important. That range is necessary because he likes to orbit at 11 kilometers. So putting him down at putting a Federation Navy is necessary to be able to reach him. And then we got a Pithi A-type small shield booster. Now, if you remember, I said there's a couple options. If you have really good skills, you can throw a rocket launcher on here and put on javelin missiles, and that adds a little bit to the DPS. Alternatively, if you're willing to spend a little bit of extra ISK, what you can do is you can take this off. You can put on another Federation Navy magnetic field stabilizer or a Serpentis one, I believe is the ones that you can get, and put that on there and have two factions. You'll make more DPS, and then you can put a T1 tractor on here so you don't have to go fly towards the wreck at the end of the fight. I believe that is the most time-saving thing you can do, but it costs another 100 million ISK, and then it kind of defeats the point of making the ship a lot cheaper. This one's only 287, whereas the fit before with the Hawk was about 400 million. So this fits a lot cheaper than the one before. Without further ado, I'm going to show you guys a fight. It is one of the simpler burner fights. We're just going to go right on in. Whee! Couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. So what does the Daredevil say to the Hawk? I don't know, but it's gonna be dead. So we're just gonna lock up Daredevil. We're gonna turn on our shields. We're gonna web him, and then we're gonna keep at range 100 kilometers. We are slower than him, so keeping at range 100 kilometers will do the very best to reduce the transversal velocity. Is what we're trying to do. So we're just gonna flash straight away from him, and he'll start orbiting us. He does have a high traversal, but we do have a really high tracking with this at 389. We will be able to hit him. So we just sit here and shoot. Once he's about, I want to say 50-ish% armor, we can overheat our guns and reduce the time to do it. But that's pretty much it for the fight. It's over. We've won. We're going to slowly chip him away. We're cap stable. We don't have to worry about injecting capacitor. We don't have to worry about much. We just have to sit here and laugh at him while he dies. Ha ha ha, Burner Daredevil, you used to be hard. There was a point where I lost like 5 Harpies to this burner because they changed him. They gave him extra reps, and that really put a wrench in things. And that's why we had to come up with the super expensive Hawk to apply the DPS to kill him. And now we got this fit. It just works. That's all there is to it. If you do a second shiny magnetic field stabilizer, it's going to take a lot less time to kill him because we're just barely breaking his tank. Any additional DPS will help. So like putting that rocket launcher on or the magnetic field stabilizer really reduces the time. But as we see here, he is through his armor. He is an armor tank, and he's now in hole. He is going to die. And then the very worst part about this mission really is going and scooping the wreck because it's 11 kilometers away. It kind of sucks. But it's always worth checking burner wrecks. Every time. You always check burner wrecks. If you're doing burners, you check the wrecks because they have a decent chance of faction drops. So, that's really all I have for you guys today. Everybody fly safe or dangerous. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think of this. Tell me if you want more. I will see you guys in the next one.